What's up, George? What's going on at the House of Craze?
In the House of Craze, we have Sean Frye of Biff Bam Boom Comics coming on the show to talk about his books. So we'll be talking to him in just a few minutes. Plus, we also have a Get Your Meds segment. Find out about it once we start.
Damn, he made me hungry. I want some fries now.
Let's get it!
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your meds, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze.
Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George, the Dreamer Medina. What's happening, Sammy? Oh, it's still on. Still
I was
going.
about to, then I pulled back. I said, reel it in, Sam, reel it in.
Oh snap!
Yo.
I'm surprised. Usually don't try to reel it in. So
I
I'm very
know.
surprised by that.
I know. Crazy.
You
Crazy.
crazy.
Yes, I know.
You so crazy.
It's been
So what's
horrible.
happening, man? What's happening? Welcome back, everyone.
Oh, you crazy.
There you go.
Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. We are sitting here. We're not live today. Normally, we've been live a lot, but we're not live today. We are actually recording this from my home in Sam's studio, and it's August 13th, I believe, and so it's middle of August. We're ending the year pretty soon, and it's been quite an eventful year. Sam, quite an eventful year. We also have Biff Bam Boom Comics coming up. Sean Frye is the creator of the books associated with Biff Bam Boom Comics. We'll talk to him about his Indiegogo that was successfully funded a few months back, and for his Youth Mob comic. So we'll talk to him about that. We're also going to have indie news coming up. We're going to have Get Your Meds. I'm not exactly sure which one we're doing today.
Oh, shit. I can tell you in a second. I forgot which way. I forgot which way. Go to studio mode.
So we'll have that, and then we'll talk to him. So it's going to be a chuck full of stuff, but we have some announcements that we want to, take care of first. We'll start by telling you guys to subscribe to the channel.
Yeah.
Nice, cool. So I'll start by telling you guys to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Thumbs up.
Give us that thumbs up.
Comment down below.
Yes,
help us grow. It's been a minute since we've actually done this the way we're doing it right now. So yeah, it's nice to be actually kind of back interviewing somebody.
Yeah. I mean, we like the live shows. Yes. But I also like the structured shows. That's our forte. That's our formula, our DNA. You know what I'm saying? Those ingredients. That's that adobo and sazon and all that stuff.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Sofrito.
Yes, you got all the goodies in there.
Speaking of that, I found this amazing Spanish place that hooked me up, man. I was like, come. It was delicious.
Nice.
I got my sister
near you, right near you.
Yeah, I got my sister mofongo.
Oh.
And I got, what did I get me? What the hell did I get me? It was delicious.
Yo, we gotta order some food next time we're there live, bro. We starve all night. We just go there. We just do shows straight up. Kids are drinking.
I've been drinking. I got a bottle for the next one.
Wow.
Yes.
See?
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yes.
I don't know where we're gonna be August 13th. I don't know how we're gonna be. Where we're actually gonna be.
Yes, this should be. Hopefully, this show airs after I've done two cons, Zolo
and Eternal.
And Eterna, potentially Eterna. I haven't canceled it yet, so
true.
now, but who knows? Because you guys all know that I am looking to relocate in Texas.
That's right. That's right.
So, so who knows what's going to happen between now and then?
I know. Yeah, we just don't know. We
don't know. That's the fun part about the pre-recording. You just don't know. I do know that Forbidden was funded.
Correct. Yes.
And the campaign ended. Where we ended, I don't know. How much over the goal, I don't know. I just know that at this point, I should be waiting for another week to get the money from Kickstarter to be able to start sending everything to print.
Yeah, so everybody got their stuff, and hopefully you enjoy it, and you will be pledging to our next Kickstarter, whichever one that shall be in the next few coming months. But because we are recording this back in July, we don't have all that information. What we do know about August, though, is that August 28th and 29th, the Ambient Con.
Oh, wait, hold it. It's, where is this? There we go. In other news.
Oh, that was going to be part of Indie News? Oh, my bad. I thought that was just an announcement. Yes. That was an announcement. Yes. So Ambient Con is going on August 28th and 29th. We are very happy to be a part of the show. They're going to have some really, really cool panels that you guys can check it out. It's going to be a virtual con. They're doing the virtual thing again.
Yes.
It's free. It's free for everyone. But if you do want some VIP access, we have the hookup. If you want VIP access, you simply log in, order your VIP tickets, which will include some cool swag, and you get a percentage off when you type in our code CDC4321. Catch the craze 4321 CDC 4321. So type that in before checkout and get your discount. So we hooking you up with some cool stuff. Plus, when you get that VIP access, like we said, you do get some cool swag.
That's pretty dope.
And things of that nature. Yeah. So it's cool. It's cool. They're doing something different, something a little different. So we're
going to be on a panel.
We're going to be on a panel. Correct. Yes. So that's going to be cool. Our second panel, this one's going to be virtual, so it'll be a Zoom situation, I'm presuming. We're going to see what's up. So that's coming up August 28th and 29th. Yeah. So get ready. And we'll see what else we have going on at the end of the year, or, see what else is happening and where we go. But we definitely know that's happening. Yeah. So stay tuned for that. Also, I've launched my Wonder Duck Instagram, so type in the adventures of Wonder Duck on Instagram and follow the page. I have some cool stuff coming up next year for that, so check that out.
Check it out.
Mr. John Coates and myself are working on a cool crossover. One of his characters called
Johnny the Bionic Caveman. Yes.
Yeah.
So how are you guys planning on doing this?
He's busy.
So you get the finished product, 8 pages. Then what happens?
So that's some stuff that I can't speak of right now. I'll tell you off air. But yeah, so we're gonna do an 8-pager, and then we'll keep you guys posted as to how you're gonna be able to get that 8-pager. It's really, really cool stuff. So stay tuned, check that out. More info to come at the end of the year. And yeah, that's Indie News, man. That's what we got. That's what we got going on. Unless you have some other stuff that you want to talk about. I know. Hey, listen, Duty. What's up with Duty? It's already August. Are we having anything happening with Duty?
That's December.
Oh, Alien in My Toilet. December.
There's an Alien in My Toilet Christmas launch on Indiegogo.
Oh, baby. Oh, it's definitely going on Indiegogo.
It's going on Indiegogo.
Decision's been made.
Kickstarter gives us too much slack when we're doing. So I think the last 2 campaigns on Kickstarter will be Cast the Crazies, the graphic novel, and Forbidden, and then The Name in My Toilet will go on Indiegogo, and I will start promoting that Indiegogo probably around October. Yes, so most likely, yes. Just want to look at the timelines with everything, but the goal is for The Name in My Toilet graphic novel, full color, collected edition. And it's going to be a monster of a campaign because I'm also putting for a lot of original art for grabs too.
Damn, that original art, baby.
Original art.
Listen, when we were at the studio when Aniba's page or his cover sold on the last Kickstarter for Forbidden. And that was quite a moment, man. Quite a moment. Because we had two covers, two original art pieces on the Kickstarter at the beginning when it first started, when we launched it, the night we launched it. And we had Aniba's cover, really cool looking cover. And then we also had David Keelis, big shout out to David Keelis. We had his cover. Whoa. Now, his was a pencil cover, and then Anibal had the the inks and everything. So they were available, and then all of a sudden Sam's looking at his phone and it's like, yo, somebody just bought a cover. Somebody just bought the cover. We're like,
crazy.
What? We trying to figure out who did it, which cover, what was it? It ended up being Anibal, and he was so proud. He was so happy to hear that, bro.
Raise his stock.
Oh boy, yeah.
And now he's got to raise his rates.
Beautiful cover. You know what it is? I think we sat down and we broke it down, and I don't know who the person was because we don't know them personally. All we know is that the person is from Las Vegas. Big shout out to the person who pledged at that level. Thank you very much. We really appreciate the support.
Thank you.
And and so we had no idea who it was, and we said Las Vegas. We were like, oh, that's got to be Dave, because Dave is out there right now. And no, it was Aniba's cover, and he was so happy.
Which I was really surprised because Aniba does really great work, but that's not my favorite cover, and so but everyone has different tastes. See what I'm saying? So it's I think one of my favorite covers that he did is the one with all of them.
The montage?
The montage with Viejo and Shaku, and that's one of my favorites of his. And that I'm gonna wait for the graphic novel to put that one up.
I got you. And if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, go over to crazycomics.com, CRAZEE, and check it out. You can get your hands on the comic book Forbidden, written and created by Mr. Sam Bear himself, sitting right in front of me. And the artwork was done by Anibal and there were covers by David Keelis. There were a few people involved in the book. A
lot of people. When you think about it, you had Primi Santra, you had Eric Ifata, you had David Keelis, Anibal Arroyo, George Medina, Barbara, Sam Vera. I mean, there's a lot of hands in the pocket.
Yeah, they were there. Yeah. We all had a little to do with them. So so check that out. Definitely go on the website, crazycomics.com. Check that out. There's a lot of stuff on the website. There are links to everywhere. So check that out. And again, and just going back to the Ambient Con, just big shout out to the nerds of the round who support heavily. Thank you very much, guys, for thinking of us when putting this panel together, which we're going to enjoy. So Nerds of the Round is the channel. Make sure you subscribe, check them out. And they do really, really cool stuff. They talk nerd, all things nerd, man. They go in.
Those damn nerds.
They go in. They're probably talking about, as we speak, they're probably talking about What If. What If is probably what they're discussing on their show. So check that out.
You know what I'm still waiting for? When's the release of the was it Amazon version of Lord of the Rings? They were going to do a series.
They had like an animated series?
No, a full series.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were bringing it to
live action?
Live action, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Didn't know that.
I was waiting. I'm wondering when that's going to be done. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, check it out.
But it sounds like it's a time for us to have some medicine because I'm feeling a little sick. What do you think? Let's get it.
It's time for your medicine.
All right, Cintiq success.
Yes.
Why this topic, Georgie Medina? Hey.
Man. So all right. So listen, I'm a dinosaur when it comes to this stuff, right? I don't have a tablet. I just put down the Cintiq because that's like almost like the iPad. It's like, you have a tablet, but like everybody's like, oh, do you have an iPad? It's just a tablet. The Cintiq is the same kind of thing, right? So I've seen a lot of you guys. Big shout out to Michael Gracia, who also uses a Cintiq, or a tablet, I should say, to draw. Guys like Michael Gracia, Jerry Winsborough, big shout out to him, who also uses a tablet. I mean, he swears by it. And you have started to use a tablet. Now it's been a while. Now you've been doing your thing for a while with it. But I have yet to touch one. So I figured this would be a perfect chance for anybody, like maybe a dinosaur like myself, an artist who hasn't touched a tablet to do any of the artwork and still wants to do everything traditionally.
Which is why you hang out with John Coates. But go ahead.
Big shout out to John. Yeah. So all right. So let's talk a little bit about the tablet experience. Okay. Do you find it to be as efficient as everybody says, or have you found any negative things about it? Let's talk about the pros and cons a little bit of the Cintiq or of the tablet experience.
I think the tablet is a tool just like any other, and I think it all depends on the application you're using. Like I'm using Affinity Photo, which is I still haven't figured out how to turn the page, where traditionally, if you're doing traditional art, you are able to turn the page, to fill in the blanks. If you're if you need to get a specific corner, you can just turn the page and whatever.
Right.
Cintiq, you can do that if you have Photoshop or some of the other programs. With Affinity, it's a little challenging.
So you use a different program. You don't use so let me start there before you even go anywhere else, because you said something. So you don't use Photoshop on your tablet. You use another program. So you can use different programs on these. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because the Cintiq tool is calibrated to your computer, right? So you do the calibrations, you do the sensitivity of you calibrate all that stuff. Your colors, how's it going to look, vibrancy and all that stuff. And then they have the programs that that you're able to use with it. And so Affinity Photo, what I tend to do is I zoom in or really close when I get into those hard to get to areas. So I find myself using the zoom tool quite often. Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. What I like about traditional drawing, and which is I'm really good at pencil sketching. And fleshing out with pencils on Affinity on the tablet.
So you're doing this on a tablet. You're saying you're using pencil. Is that like
tool.
A brush?
Yes, a pencil brush.
It's a pencil tool.
Yes.
And it looks like a pencil.
Exactly like a pencil.
Literally looks, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I use the pencil tool, and I find that I've gotten better at fleshing things out with a pencil, whereas when I was drawing traditionally, I would frame out my pages and then go over with inks. And I felt that I was better when I looked at some of my older work, when I inked it, I put a lot more time on paper than I do on Affinity, because if I'm coloring it myself, I wind up going over, making up for what I don't ink. So I think what happens is with a tablet, you have two choices. You can spend a lot of time, like if you watch any of the Todd McFarlane videos, he spends a really lot of time putting a lot of detail.
Yeah.
Because he knows that the page is going to somebody else to do the colors. So he wants to put in as much detail as possible. If you're doing it yourself, you can the other choice is be lazy, because you know that you're going to color it, so you're going to overcompensate with the colors to cover up some of those things that you're not doing black and white. What I like about traditional is now I have physical art that I'm able to sell down the road. If that book takes off, the popularity, if my popularity grows or whatever it is, then the value grows, and I have that physical art. You don't get that with the tablet.
Well, there are the NFTs, and we'll talk about that in another show. But yeah, no, so going so you said that you are able really to flesh out with pencil on the tablet versus what you would normally do on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, because at one time in my life I did pick up a pen and pencil and draw. Is it because when you do it, did you find that you stopped doing that on traditional, like the pencil work traditionally, because it just gets messy? And then when you go to try to ink it, there's a lot of erasing that now hurts maybe the paper that you're using, to the point where you're like stripping the paper down because you're erasing so much. Is that why you feel like maybe with the tablet you can go over that pencil over and over and over without having to worry about that?
Yeah, because once I go on to the next layer to ink, it doesn't really matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter if yes. So yeah, you do make a mess with pencils. That's why you have to put another piece of paper on top of it. As you draw underneath
Smudging
your hand
and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so you have to have something underneath your hand, a white glove or a piece of paper between you and the sheet, to avoid the oils from your hand to get on the sheet and create those smudgy looks. And that's one of the things you don't have to erase. And I think the investment on a tablet saves you on having to buy pencils and paper and ink.
Right.
So you're saving money there. So so the tablet is expensive, but when you look at the cost savings down the road, you're going to save a lot more money. And then productivity wise, I feel like I'm faster on a tablet. I can knock out a cover in one day on a tablet. When I'm drawing traditionally, probably take me a couple of days. Because you're constantly looking back on a tablet. I can just
zoom in, zoom out.
Hit Command Z, which is undo the last thing I just did. I could just keep doing that and whatever. If I didn't like that look with the paper, I had to erase constantly. So I think that the pros and cons are, number one, you're saving money when you go digital, and I think you become more efficient. I've become more efficient, at least for me. I've become more efficient, and so I think that's the biggest thing, and there's just the cost savings. I love the bigger tablet. I wasn't a fan of the smaller one.
Well, that's the thing, the size of it, right? Because I have an iPad, and I have the pencil, and I have the and I have the program. I try to go in there to draw something, and it just feels different. Like it just, I don't know, for some reason when I'm drawing on a regular piece of paper, and maybe it's just the depth perception, everything just seems like that's the size it's gonna be. So this is what I'm drawing. Whereas on a tablet, because you can zoom in, you can actually draw a lot of detail and then zoom back out and see what it actually looks like. But for some reason, it was bugging me out. I couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to look. So
because you have to adjust to it, and the same thing. Like for instance, I did the cover for Catch the Crazies, where you have George and Sam in the foreground at the door, and then off in the distance you got Extreme Crazy,
right?
All these things in the background. If I was drawing that on traditional paper, I have to use a really, really fine point tip to try to get everything in there, and it might not have been able to capture all the colors and pop the way it does there, because I was able to zoom in that background. So I always start with the foreground, and I do my vanishing point lines, and then so I know exactly where the characters are going to be in relation to what's in the foreground for me. And so I was able to zoom in and draw them traditionally as if I was drawing on full size, because it's fully zoomed in. Then when you zoom out, you realize it's just small. But when the colorist got it, it was able to pop out because it didn't take up too much black space. The black didn't take up all the space, where on a piece of paper the black might have taken up some of the space. So
in other words, the resolution, you don't lose any resolution. The resolution is 100%, and the line is just the line rather than the lead or the ink being most of what you end up doing, like almost like a stick figure, because it's so far away where you're losing a lot of detail. So you get more detail, in other words, when you're using the Cintiq.
Yes, and I think that's the biggest thing for me. I'm able to take more risks with the Cintiq than I would on traditional paper, because if you screw up on the paper, it's like, how many times can you use white out? How many times can you erase? You're going to start a whole... I can tell you right now, when I was going through my original art, I have at least 50 unfinished pages because I started that page over.
Right.
Because I didn't like it. I messed up somewhere. I didn't like what it looked,
Dude, in the world of cut and paste, right? Don't you now it's like if you mess up something on there, you can save that, maybe cut that and paste that over here, or resize it, make it smaller. It doesn't look right, make it so there are shortcuts that you can use.
And I can draw the character. And then one of the things that I find that's very beneficial is I can draw each character. If I'm doing a montage or whatever, every single one of the characters on its own layer. And I do that for a reason, because if I want to create a trading card or a bio card or a promo just using that character, I can take that character, that position, and use that instead of having to try to copy around, use the wand tool and the lasso tool and then cut it out and then paste it and then erase the edges.
Yeah.
Instead, I put them in their own layer, so that creates even more efficiency. And I also require, if I'm having somebody else color it, to color it that way as well. Keep it in its layer. I don't flatten it. I send them to them in layers, and I want it back in layers.
So in other words, if there are two characters standing in front of each other, one standing like one, the character in the background will be a full figure.
Yeah.
And then you just place the other one in front of it rather than draw it missing an arm.
So what I do is I'll draw the first character, right? And then I will lower its resolution to 10% so I can see where it is positioned as I'm drawing the next one on a separate layer.
That's crazy.
And then I'll raise the resolution back once that other character is done.
Yeah. And I sound amazed by this. I'm sure anybody who's watching this who does this for like they're like, come on, dude, really? But this is like the tablet users 101. So if you've never used a tablet, this is what this is for. It's not for the guys who have been using it for a while. But so now let me ask you, do you feel like you're a better inker on a tablet than you are, say, in real life or traditionally, I should say?
Or
do you still hate it either way?
I suck as an inker, but in fact, I'm actually I invested in the Joe Kubert video on inking because I really want to master my own inking. Because you know what's funny? I think prior to Crazy Comics, the beginning, when I was inking my own stuff, I put in a lot of work. I was looking at some original pages. And I was like, man, I put a lot of work in those inking. My cross hatching was on fire. I was like, somewhere along the line, somewhere I lost it. And I think it was because I was coloring my own stuff. Okay. And so I got lazy as an inker, so I didn't really hone that craft. So I really, like, my hat's off to those guys who are really amazing at inking. So I really didn't nourish or develop that skill set, because I became a lazy artist because I knew I was coloring my own stuff. And then, like with Cosmic Wars and There's Nearly in My Toilet, I was like, all right, I'm just going to do clean lines. And so I became a tracer, not an inker. So I'm an aspiring inker, but and I'm working on that with the tablet. But I find that time is not my friend. So sometimes I will take shortcuts because I know the color is going to compensate.
Yeah. So is it harder to color traditionally, or do you think it's harder to color on a tablet?
I'm getting better on the tablet because once you learn the shortcuts, I think that's the biggest thing, and you get into a rhythm. Once you learn the shortcut keys, and you're able, because when a tablet, you need to have one hand on the keyboard and the other hand on the stylus. And so
it doesn't move, you're saying?
No, you have the one hand on the keyboard so you can have all your shortcut keys.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So you don't have to go with the stylus and go and kick the magnifying glass.
The shortcut keys are crucial to your speed.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that you need to do is program your keyboard, or get yourself the joystick keyboard. It has like at least 8 keys, and it has the mouse clicker and a few buttons that you can set up so you can work faster. Because you need both hands.
What are some of the shortcuts that you need to use? Like what is the most the ones that you use the most? I'd say
the wand tool, the magnifying tool, the undo tool, your color, your brushes, all those things. Your brush size is huge because I find that I'm constantly going back and forth between brush sizes. And, because if I want to fill in black, I increase the size of the brush. If I have small areas, I go to small, if I'm going into fine lines. So you gotta constantly just program it that suits your needs. If you're a lefty, you're going to be using your left hand for the keyboard. So the way I have it set up is that if
you're a righty, you mean? If you're a right-handed,
if you're a righty, you're gonna use your left for your keyboard.
Your left, yeah.
So I have my Cintiq, and it's hooked up to my laptop, to my Dell, and the Dell is on a little table underneath the desk. So I have my hand on the Dell while I'm drawing with my right hand. Going back.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And I had to teach myself that because it's uncomfortable. It's not natural.
It's not natural.
So anything that's not natural, you gotta be a little. I think that's one of the reasons why people avoid it, is because the same reason why I avoided driving because I had all this head junk. How am I gonna look in the mirrors and the side mirror and do this and have my foot in the gas and all? I psyched myself out because I thought it was. Then the moment I started driving, I felt like I was driving my whole life, and you can't get me from behind the wheel. And so I think it's the same thing. I think people were afraid of the technology, and I was, because this here I've owned 1, 2, 3 before this.
You've had 3 tablets before that one?
Yes. So the first one was a generic tablet, and it was one that you got to look at the screen and draw on the pad because it didn't have that. That was difficult. And then
wait, hold on. Before, so 3 in what time span? Like how? Like in 2 years and 3 years? What? Every year you bought a new one? Well, what's the time span?
So the first one I had was a small one, and I used that for about a year, and I was like, no, I'm done. So then I got a bigger one. Same thing. I had to look at the monitor and draw on the pad. That was training your eye to follow the stylus, and that was. So then I used that for like 6 months. And I put that in the drawer and never used it again. And then I got the Wacom, the smaller one, and you draw on the screen. You can see everything on the screen. And I used that for about 2 years.
Oh wow!
And then I put it away. And then when I built this studio, I acquired this one, which is the Cintiq 24 HD, and I've been using it ever since.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Damn. So I didn't realize you've been using them that long. So you've been. I thought you just started doing this whole thing. You've been using them.
Oh no! If you look at some of the old studio photos on my Facebook, you'll see me drawing on a tablet. It was uncomfortable, so I was always annoyed at the fact that I invested it and I struggled with it. And where I really shined is when I got this one.
Well, I feel like it got easier. I mean, when you're drawing down here, but you got to look up there. That's got to be, you're not used to that. That's something you're not used to. That's completely different than even what a traditional artist does, because you're always looking at what you're drawing. When you're describing what you're describing, it's like, what the hell is that? That's more like when you're using a mouse and you're coloring and stuff like that. That's a little different. I guess you just got to get used to it. But now, using the pen on the screen, is there any lag? You know what I mean? Like, can you adjust? No, there's no lag. Everything's
immediate. It feels like I'm drawing on a piece of paper.
That is insane.
Yeah. But
that is crazy.
I mean, if you have any other questions for us, just put them in the comments below. We'll be glad to answer it. It was a really good conversation, but I also see that our guest is in the waiting room.
All right, let's get it.
So we're going to, if you're looking to promote your campaign and you're looking to spread the word about what you're doing, why don't you give this a shot?
Do you have a Kickstarter campaign and you're trying to figure out how to get the word out? You look online and you see the competition is fierce. Comic-Cons are slowly coming back, but in the meantime, how do you spread the word? You worked for hours creating your campaign. You post on as many social media sites as possible, trying to get the word out to no avail. Well, look no further. Why not sponsor an episode of Catch the Craze Podcast, the fastest growing indie podcast in the market today? That 30-second promo can get you an extra 2 to 3 backers or more. Who knows? Let's go. Hit the link below and get one step closer to a successful campaign.
All right. What's up, buddy? Hello.
I think the audio's connecting.
Yes.
There he is. There you go. What's going on, man? How you doing, Sean? Everything good?
Everything good.
There you go. Welcome back, everyone. We are here on Catch the Craze with Sean Frye, creator of Youth Mob. So, hey, man, thank you for coming on. I'm George. That's Sam. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to I was just working on the timeline because I'm in St. Louis, so when you said 7:30, I was like,
which time zone, right? Which time zone?
No, we saw you in the waiting room, and I was gonna bring you in. He's like, wait, it's 7:30. They haven't brought me in yet. So what's up, buddy? What's going on?
Yeah, not much. Just chilling. Just promoting it as as much as possible and wherever I can.
There you go. There you go. How is it out in St. Louis? What's the weather like out there? Is it hot yet or what?
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
St. Louis weather is basically, it can be hot today, snowing tomorrow, raining.
Wow.
All in the same week.
The apocalypse.
You get all the seasons in 1 week.
Yes.
That's incredible, man. Are you born and raised in St. Louis? Tell us a little bit about your background. Tell us a little bit about, where you grew up, where you came from, how you got into this whole comic book thing. Talk to us about that.
Born and raised in St. Louis, second generation artist. I'm working on this project actually with my father, and we just simply been putting in the work on the book. We're pretty much this started out as his passion. He loved comics and art, and at the time when he wanted to do this, he really couldn't do it. And from there, he just put it down and then picked up. That's where I came in. I picked up just his love and passion for it, just to show him that all this is possible. Just put the work out there, and everything's been clicking. And I can't help but just feel blessed about that. Is so many doors has opened up just doing this, and we keep meeting new people and just talking comics and stuff, and it's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds like you were born into this, into the whole creating comics, right? Yeah, I was reading about that your dad grew up like in the 80s and 90s, and much like us, like that, what we have now wasn't available. Like there was no such thing as, I'm going to do an indie comic, and I'll print it and sell it myself. It was either you go with Marvel or you go with DC. There is nothing else. So it's nice to see that you kind of picked up the mantle, said, Dad, I can help you with this. Don't worry about it. I'm a 3D artist now. I can do this. I was looking through your book, and it's awesome, man. So you started at a very young age. Did you always lean towards doing the 3D stuff, or did you ever actually pick up a pencil and a piece of paper?
As an artist, always sketching, putting in things like that. When I was in when I went to community college, that's where I picked up filmmaking classes and learning animation. So I was like, this is another avenue I can possibly use in the future to help go back and forth with my books and stuff. Because I didn't know how I wanted to do it when I first started, because I didn't have my dad on yet. So I was just figuring out how I'm going to do this, and which medium is best to express my characters and show them off. And that's where I just started with filmmaking first. And then I was like, okay, now I'm going to work on fleshing out my storylines. And I took a lot of writing classes up at my community college, and did everything, business classes, everything I thought was possible for just become more well-rounded with just talking the business of running actual business. And that's where I picked up with it. So with us, me and my father, all the other pieces that he really didn't have at the time when he wanted to do this. Like, he's mainly the artist, and he didn't have the just all the tools and stuff that I have, that writing. So he can put the beautiful artwork together, but he couldn't put a story together. Right. And that's where I fit in all those pieces. So we just go back and forth with that. We mesh really well with that.
That's cool, man. You're tag teaming it. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. That's
pretty unique. So go back a little further back. Start from what were you into as a kid?
Can you repeat that one more time?
What were you into as a child, as a kid? What were some of the things that inspired you as a kid?
For me, it was the name came from just off the top of the head. But like our company names and stuff like that, I got that from my father. He came up with the name Biff Mammal Comics, and I held on to that name since I was like 12 years old. But with the Youth Mob itself, that just came to me the top of the head. I was like, I'm gonna put together a bunch of young heroes, and then I'm gonna mesh it, and the story just came from there. It just throw a whole bunch of ideas together, see where it fits, and then I was always lucky that I can make it mesh properly. Like, I know what I wanted, I didn't know exactly how it would look, but I knew exactly what I wanted from it, and that's what helped come with just the territory with the names and stuff.
So what is it like working with your dad?
It's difficult at times, but it's amazing because a couple years before we actually put the foot down that we was going to do this, we go to all the Marvel and DC movies like, oh, okay, this is a cool idea. We're gonna properly use this. Like, they didn't flush this out properly. If we ever do this, we're gonna add this to ours, do this. So yeah, that's where it started. And I was like, just one day was like, okay, now I seen pretty much everything that I wanted from Marvel and DC. I was like, okay, now we're gonna throw this out there for us.
Right. So talk about the process. So the script writing. Do you guys work traditionally where you write a script with dialogue, number of panels per page, and you give it to your dad, or how does that work?
The Marvel method. Yeah, it's basically we talk out the story, go back and forth. Like, okay, we're gonna do this cool idea, and then my process is just figuring out a way to formulate it, put it in to beginning, middle, and end. And with that, it's really fun because I've never like you can give me a bunch of different random images, and then I can put all the images together and make a really cool story out of it. Just random images, and I was like, okay, that's where I figured out that my storytelling ability is really cool with just images. Like he can just draw up something and then I can just put it, this needs to be here, this needs to be here for the story to flow properly. And some things that he can't really show, I know where exactly they'll put it in for a placement. Like, okay, this is where the story is going to go, this is where it's going to go. It doesn't, a lot of times it's like, we clash a little bit because he really can't see that part of it. But I was like, okay, just trust me on this, and then I got this, and then we fill it in just like that.
So, sure, you're a 3D artist, right? You do this in 3D. It's not traditional 2D artwork, right? Is it a combination of both, or?
The 3D animation is a gift that we got from a friend of ours who's getting ready to launch his campaign.
Okay.
Yeah, and he saw my characters and he was like, okay, this is really cool because it was so much with the character designs, and once he saw it, all the youth mob became really infectious to him. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna make you a trailer for your Indiegogo, make it get everybody to see it and stuff. I was like, okay. It started out just as like maybe a minute, and then he bumped it up to close to 10 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, he just kept working with it. So I was like, okay, I really have something here. It's when you see it's different, but it feels so familiar at the same time. And everything's been a mishmash of pretty much all ideas. But the book itself is a traditional comic.
Okay.
It's more of a painted style because my dad grew up with, he's a big fan of Alex Ross, and he loves that painted style. So he was like, I'm gonna do this book. The artwork is gonna match the cover is gonna match all the way out throughout the book. Is the main story is all just his beautiful paintings, pretty much.
It looks great, man. It looks really, really good. I like the name Biff Bam Boom. Like, you know what I mean? 3B comics. I love it. And I actually I'm looking through your Indiegogo because a lot of this stuff is still on demand, right?
Yeah.
So but I like your packaging, man. I love the way you guys did the whole packaging. Is that part of the business mindset that you have in putting all this thing together? Tell me a little bit about how that packaging and how that marketing came about.
Simply, I was thinking of like the best ways to promote the books, and the main things that we wanted to do. The story, it's we just got up to 53 pages. The story itself is 60 plus pages of just pure artwork, and we wanted to do it for at least like $25 for if you got a physical copy, $25, and you get a pack of trading cards with it. And we wanted to do it if you was gonna pay $25 for it, we might as well give you more bang for your buck, as much as possible. We could fit in, and that was pretty much it. With that part, it was like, what are the best ways we can do this? We want to make trading cards, a few posters and things, and it's just there's a lot. It's a lot going on with it, and I love it.
I saw you even have a 3B magazine.
Yeah, I designed a quick little read magazine. It's just talk about our background, a few preview things that we've been working on outside of Youth Mob. But Youth Mob is like the main thing we're working on. But we got some little side stories that we want to just get flushed out. But everything in our universe meshes. Like you can read one book series and know exactly what's going on in the other series at the same time.
Nice. That's awesome, brother. That is awesome. You, the Youth Mob title, you said it was just came out, but what is the story about? What is the Youth Mob about?
Youth Mob is about my main character, Otto. He's the character with the white hair, tall white hair. I call him the logo. He's pretty much like our Spider-Man brand. If you see him, you know that's our product and what we're working on. And his journey is from being, I say, with like the very beginning of the story, it goes from him being part of like our Justice League type of group with his older brother, and now he was like the young runt of that team, and now that he's older, he has a chance to lead a team of his very own, which is the Youth Mob. The Youth Mob is like the hybrid of like the Teen Titans and a little bit of the original X-Men story-wise. One that young, fun group of just teenagers doing their thing.
Nice, dude. And I see that Amara is the most powerful member of the Youth Mob. So she's not the leader, but she's the most powerful one.
Right. She's the most powerful of them. And we have her. She's her background is kind of a mystery in the most part. We got her like a puzzle box. She's really like a really shy character. And like over the journey, we want you to like to really grow with her. She's our kind of like our Scarlet Witch, that spellbinding magic, sorcery, heavy contender in our universe. Because the way we did our universe is magic characters are kind of like the mutants. It's a lot more magic type based power sets in our universe, and that was something that Marvel and DC never really touched in their universes. Is the magic realm type of characters mixed in with the superheroes, and that was the main thing we wanted to capitalize on with ours.
Sweet. You also have a character here called Local Hero. Tell me a little bit about Local Hero.
Local Hero is the main one you see in the trailer, the one doing all the flips and kicks. He is the hybrid Nightwing / Daredevil character. His background is a wrestler. His parents were both wrestlers, and that was part of his tradition. Basically the tights and stuff, and that it just added to his character to make him like really well-rounded. Because like when I designed him, it was like really basic. Had a really nice design. He was just like the really cool Street Fighter type of character.
Right. And
slowly, between me and my dad, we just kept adding elements to him, throwing it. Because a lot of times I give like a basic shell of the character, and then me and my father, we just go back and forth filling in. Okay, this character's gonna have this background. He's gonna have this origin story. Add more to it, and as we going, we continue to write them every day. But he's pretty much like their field leader, and he works really hard on his craft. And he was the main leader like until Otto showed up. It was like because Otto to them is basically like a celebrity in a sense, because he's already been a superhero for a while, and now is a new hero taking up his turf. And he's like, he went from like the shoo-in leader to, okay, I might not be the leader. So that's the way they clash and go back and forth.
That's good, man. That's for drama within the story. So that's awesome. Yeah. So what do you have planned for the Youth Mob? Like what's the future of this story, of this book, of your company? Like what are you guys envisioning?
Right.
With this, we plan on at this moment we have at least 13 books planned out.
Wow.
We want to flush them completely out. You from this story, the main thing we want to do is get everybody grounded and get everybody to understand these characters, and then from there slowly expand and add new members and take people out. Because the main thing we want to do with our universe is we want it to matter. Like when a character leaves or dies or joins, we want it to matter. Like I didn't want to do the cheap cop outs like the Superman, the character dies, death of Superman, and then from there, he comes back a few issues later.
Yeah.
Like if we kill a character, that character we want to stay dead. It has to matter because it satisfies the story, and at the same time it adds weight onto the other characters because it gives them more emotion because they lost a friend or a friend left the team, and it is easy writing when you can just go from there. And we want you to care so much about them that it's going to be really hard to let them go when it's time to let them go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, smart, man, smart. And then you guys are planning to do, obviously you have 13 books left and you have other characters or other books in the pipeline. When do you see some of these new books coming out? What's your schedule like?
Schedule right now is mainly the Youth Mob, and as the next 2 to 3 years, just continuing fleshing them out properly. Mm-hmm. And in between, we got other space adventure type stories that we want to do like in between, because the main thing we try to do is crank out as many books as possible. So by the time we hit like I say year 8 or 9, we like, okay, we got a whole catalog of different things that we can explore. But the main thing we want to do at the moment right now is put down as many things as possible, and if we have to revisit the characters in the long run, because we want to just put the premise out there, get the characters out, and later if they catch, then we're like, okay, we're gonna add to this, keep going with this, just to keep the story going, because we just want to flesh out the ideas, and then once they catch, then okay, the audience likes this, so we're gonna give them more of that.
Gotcha.
Nice. So, what are the things that came into my mind as you were talking about it in your creative process with your dad? How do you compensate for characters that are supposed to be talking to each other when you're writing the dialogue, but they're not illustrated that way?
The best way I did that was I gave him like really cool key things that you know that's the character, even though that they're either not on the in the panel or not. And we wanted to you can pick up on the character's personality real quick, and you like, okay, that's that character, even though I can't see him or do anything with it. I know that's that character just off the bat from reading the first few pages. Like, okay, I got a really good understanding of this character's background, understanding, and we wanted to just let them speak for themselves. Like a lot of times, I let the artwork lay it out, and then I write in between, okay, this is the personality I want for that character, this personality I want for that character. And eventually some characters clash and they resolve it within themselves. And that's pretty much the main process. Like the main thing we want to do, you have to understand the character first, and then from there, once you hooked and understand the character, you got it from there. And then that's where you mentally put it together. Okay, this is exactly where the character should go.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, it's cool that you guys are able to work it out that way, especially when you're working in the Marvel, using the Marvel method where you have like a page and say, hey, Dad, this is what's happening on this page. Go for it. So it can be challenging. Like Sam said, it can be challenging because if he's drawing it one way, but you had him saying something like, okay, how we going to fix that? How are we going to work around that? And it's good that you guys have a workaround in case stuff like that happens. So that adds to that, the creative process. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cause because the main thing you want to do is you want to give your artist as much freedom as possible, because it produces a better product. Because if you feel that the story is pigeonholing the artist, you gotta just rein it in a little bit. So you produce your best work when you feel creatively free to do this, but at the same time give you a little bit of like a guideline.
Yeah.
This is exactly. It doesn't have to be exactly what I drawn or laid out, but close enough to it that I get the general idea of this is exactly what it needs to be right here at the same time. So it's just a cool meshing of just both our ideas at the same time.
Yeah, it's good to give your artist freedom, especially when your artist is your dad, right?
Yes.
So like,
no allowance.
You ain't going out today. I can't draw this page this way. You ain't going out. But that's cool, man. I'm glad you guys have that relationship, bro. And listen, good luck with everything, dude. This looks really nice. I like where you guys are going with it. Where can we pick up the book other than Indiegogo? Do you guys have a website, or like how long will it be on Indiegogo to get it there?
We plan on having it up we plan on having it up on Indiegogo for about a year.
Okay.
That's the main goal. That's where you can get it from, and then also you can get it from our website 3bcomics.com. That's also where you can order it from, and that's gonna eventually, after the book, I'll give it about a couple months or so, then it's gonna be up on the website. But we want to have like real small avenues with it right now, and then I'm exploring as many as possible from there. But the main thing is just to promote it as far wide as we can, reach as many people, and just keep working with that.
Sweet. Are you guys doing any conventions or any appearances?
Yeah, we can go into convention thing soon.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done a few shows, but that was before the pandemic. But we slowly, as they open up, just hit up all the places locally first, and then slowly expand from there. Because all of it's a learning process. Because pretty much everybody got to start over now. It's more of a starting over period now.
Oh yeah.
And you just figuring out your footing as what you want to do, where we need to be, and just keep going from there. But that's just part of the process. We trying to tap every avenue as possible to just promote our artwork, and that's all we can do at this moment.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Keep us posted, man. Let us know where you're going to be, because we're going to start doing some road shows, and hopefully we can, meet up and, you get to take a look at some of the stuff you guys are working on. But thank you so much for coming on, Sean. Really appreciate you, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
And I will send you an update when this gets posted.
Yeah. We'll send you the link. Promote it. We'll get you promoted, man. We'll get you everywhere, brother. All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night. Tell your dad we said hello, and great work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
Peace.
Bye.
All right. So.
Awesome.
Yes. So.
I like that.
That's pretty cool. That's the first family affair.
Yeah. Yo, dude, they're like twins. If you look at the Indiegogo, they look exactly alike. I thought he was joking around because they have the same name. And they look exactly alike. I'm like, wait a minute, because he's got F. Sean Frye, and then it's Sean Frye, and I thought it was the same guy. Just kind of, I was like, what the? But it's father and son, and that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I like it. Everybody's got a different process, man. I like that he knew the Marvel way versus the DC process. So that shows you that he's been doing this for a long time, and his dad's really been a force in his life as far as
I'm a DC way kind of guy.
Yeah.
When it comes to writing my scripts,
I am too.
But when I'm drawing, I like to keep myself focused on the way I directed it when I wrote it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I'm writing the script, I always write as if I'm writing for a third party. But if I know I'm drawing it, I keep it that way, because then it makes it easy for me to stay focused and when I'm thumbnailing, because sometimes if you're ad-libbing, you can have artist block, and you're like, what am I going to do with this page? But then if I direct it myself, I'm like, I have there it is right there.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of having a plan. Maybe it's not it's not the Bible, but it's like a roadmap.
Yeah.
And you can veer off. You can veer off the path a little bit as long as you know where you got to go.
Yes.
I'm a big proponent of just having somewhere to go so that you know where it's going to end. So you don't get kind of stuck. Like you said, you lose it. You're like, okay, what am I going to write now?
Yeah.
So,
What are these?
what is these? What is these?
Yes.
But dude, no, excellent conversation with Sean Frye. Definitely, you guys check out the links below. Check out the website. Check out Indiegogo. Pick up his book, Youth Mob. He's been working on since he was 12 years old. So check that out. But yeah, no, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's always cool to meet new people. That's what I love about what we do. I mean, it's funny to hear everybody's perspective and their approach on the creative in the creative space. And but yeah, so good luck to you out there, and we'll be watching your career and see what evolves.
Yeah, there it is.
But yeah, so again, it's good to have the structured show back. It's been a minute. We were on a roll with those live Kickstarters.
Yeah.
I mean, because the floodgates open. I didn't even put it out there. They just said, "I got a Kickstarter."
Yeah, and there'll be more. I mean, there'll be more coming down the pike. I'm
sure.
Yeah,
we got tons.
Kickstarters
I mean, so many inquiries. It's just we just can't keep up with everybody. But don't forget to subscribe if you're watching the show right now. Give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, subscribe, tell a friend, share it with others, because the more people that subscribe and follow us, the more people that are going to be exposed to all this wonderful talent that we have on our show. So we want to expand the reach so that way they have a platform to share with the world what their creativity. So if you can help us do that and help us grow, that'd be great.
Absolutely. And don't forget that we're going to be at the Ambient Con later on this month, August 28th. And if you are buying tickets, well, tickets are free. So you can get digital tickets for free, but you can also get digital VIP tickets they start at $25. Use promo code CDC4321 for a really cool discount. And that VIP ticket gets you digital comics, wallpapers, and special offers from some of the exhibitors from the show. It's $100 value again for about $25. So check that out. Ambient Con is going to be really, really cool. Big shout out to the guys over there, Eric Hutchinson, Sebastian, Law, and Tom from across the hall. Thank you guys for including us in this. And yeah, that's been another episode, right, of Catch the Craze. We're back to regular scheduled program.
Yes, regularly scheduled program. Don't forget, visit crazycomics.com. That's TRAZEE comics.com for all the latest updates on what's going on. And also go visit getyomeds.com. That's with a Z. Getyomeds.com with a Z. Get all the wonderful stuff from Wonder Duck and Rush 5377. And so with that said, I'm Sid the Crazy Man Vera.
And I'm George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are out.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy.
Acquiesce. No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh,
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.